Hi guys, Darth Deuce here, back on the Star Wars The Black Series action figure review. Today, taking a look at a Walmart exclusive figure, part of the Bad Batch Walmart exclusive wave, I guess you call it, because they all release at the same time, about the size of a wave. It is the clone Commando, who we've seen here and there pop up in the Bad Batch series. And this is a figure that I wasn't sure if I was going to pick it up, but I ended up finding it in stores, which is something I wasn't expecting to find, I guess, and I picked it up. Um, but it's a figure I definitely wanted Hasbro to make. I figured they would make after making Delta Squad. It seemed like a no-brainer to just do a plain white army builder clone commando, and now we have it. And if you have those previous Delta Squad Republic Commando figures, you know exactly what you're getting here. It is basically a repaint of Boss, who in turn was a repaint slash very slight retool of the Hunter mold. And I'm not going to get too much into it. I've done a whole review on Delta Squad, a video there where I've aired my opinions on the usage of this mold for the Clone Commandos. The short story is I'm perfectly fine with them using the Hunter molds for the Clone Commandos. I think it fits them well enough. It is supposed to be the same type of armor. It works perfectly fine. The mold is well made, articulates well, looks good enough. I'm happy with it. But yeah, let's take a look. There's really not a whole lot to talk about because it's basically Boss with a lot less paint. This is a Walmart exclusive, so I don't know how easy or hard it will be to find. I did see it in 2 separate Walmarts, so maybe it won't be super hard to find. I will say this is probably going to be the least desirable out of the entire wave, just because it's the plainest figure, the most non-new going on, because there's no new molding, sculpting whatsoever. It's just a straight up repaint. But I think it looks good. I think the white looks good. There's not a whole lot to talk about. The helmet looks good. I will say though, I feel like the helmet is missing some paint apps. There's some paint details that are present on all members of Delta Squad, which makes me believe they're paint apps that should be with all commandos. Like some like gunmetal coloring on the sides here. This figure doesn't have it. They didn't paint the black where the vents are. I would imagine these standard clones would have the same detailing, so they didn't paint that here. It's not a massive deal, but for this figure being at that exclusive price point, upcharge, I'd like to maybe see him have the proper paint apps that he should have. But otherwise, the visor looks good. This nice reflective metallic blue, and the mouthpiece and the little chin pieces are painted nicely. And then the rest of the figure is basically white plastic with black plastic slash black paint for the undersuit, body glove underneath the armor pieces. But he has all the nice sculpted battle damage that the Hunter mold has, and it's carried over and looks pretty good. The backpack looks pretty good. It's got some nice gunmetal coloring there and some little red details. It is removable. It fits on really nice and tightly though. Like you aren't just gonna, it's not gonna fall off. You really do actually have to pull it off. So that's good. That's nice and secure. Legs are pretty much white and black, and there's not too much else to talk about. You can pretty much get the gist just by looking at it. It's a white standard clone commando. Articulation wise, it's good. Double ball joints or dumbbell joints in the neck get a good range of motion even with the helmet sculpt. You have the hinges at the shoulders, and the shoulder pads have that sandwich O-ring, so they move with the shoulder joint. I don't think this mold, I don't know, I think this mold actually does have, I can't tell if this mold has a butterfly joint or not. I can't remember. It kind of looks like there's a butterfly joint in there, but these ones are either really tight or, yeah, there's a butterfly joint in there. It doesn't move too crazy far, but it is there. Single hinges at the elbows move a bit past 90, which is good. A swivel and a vertical hinge at the trigger hand wrist, and in and out at the other wrist. A torso joint that actually crunches forward a decent amount, goes back a fair amount, pivots quite well, and rotates. Hips go out pretty far. They split actually quite a bit. Swivel cut, which is hidden well with the armor. Single hinge at the knees goes a little bit past 90, and hinges that can go up and down at angles as well as rockers. So really great articulation. You'll be able to get pretty much any pose that you want out of this guy for the most part, which is really good. I will say though, some of the joints were a little weird. His left elbow joint, the peg that goes into the bicep, it was like stuck in there, kind of, where if you twisted it made of a softer plastic, so when you twisted the arm, you're actually just twisting the plastic and not actually rotating. I had to heat that up to get that free, or else I would have twisted it enough and would have snapped it off. So that's something to keep in mind. And just kind of had some weirdness with that in some of the joints, which I actually have never noticed with the other Commandos. So I don't know why this figure has a bit of QC in that area, but it's not too bad or anything, but something to keep in mind. In terms of accessories, it doesn't come with a ton. You saw the backpack already, and then it does come with the standard Commando rifle that we've seen with plenty of these Commando figures and Bad Batch figures already. It is, in my opinion, and most people's opinions, it is undersized. It should probably be a little bigger, but the sculpting itself is nice. The figure can hold it pretty well. He holds it no problem in the trigger hand. You can get two-handed poses, no problem. Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of too much else he could have came with. I think there was an episode, I think it's that Zillow Beast episode, the Commandos had like these electro staves. It would have been kind of, or shock rods or something. It would have been kind of cool if they included that as well. But not a big deal. I might not even display them with it anyways. But that is pretty much it. I guess lastly, I'll just do a quick comparison with another Commando figure we've gotten. I don't see a point really, you know, comparing them all. But here he is with the one he is closest, most similar to, and there is Boss. He's basically just Boss without the orange markings and less paint. But you can kind of see there. They definitely look good together. It's definitely cool to have a generic Army Builder Commando. But yeah, you can kind of see like all the detailing that just isn't on the new one. It's kind of weird. Yeah, overall, I think this is still a pretty solid figure. It is kind of a decent choice by Hasbro for an exclusive, because this is definitely a figure that not everyone's going to want. I think that if you are a clone collector and you collect all different clones, or you collected Delta Squad and you like the Clone Commando mold, then I would definitely recommend picking this up. You'll know exactly what to expect, but it's a great figure. Whether you want Army Build or not, it's hard to recommend Army Building it at that exclusive price point, but if you can afford it and you want to, go for it. But it's a great figure even if you can just get one. I don't regret picking it up. I think it looks pretty clean in the all white. But if it's not a character, a clone trooper that you are particularly bothered to acquire, then it's definitely an easy pass. I could see it being, even if you're not maybe a big fan of the molds or whatever, maybe it's a good base for customizing either for paint or for like custom kits and whatnot. This might be a good base because it is just a standard white. You can basically do whatever you want with it. It's kind of a blank canvas in that regard. So that might be kind of appealing for some people as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. May the Force be with you.